All right, welcome to my blogging battle, Kidblog versus Edublogs. I want to start out by saying Kidblog allows you to create a class, one class for free. Edublogs, you have to pay about $5 to do the create a class. Um, Another thing, when you are enrolling students to have an account, and Kidblog, they do not need an email, it's not required, but on Edublog, a student email is required, so that can get a little tricky. I want to make this as brief as possible, so I'm going to look at the dashboards here, and as you see on Kidblog, there's only 6 options. It's the dashboard, create a new post, look at all of the posts you've made, look at all of your comments, and speaking of comments, on both Kidblog and Edublog you have to pay for though. When the students create a post or a comment, it has to be approved, or the teacher can have control over approving that. They can choose whether or not they want to approve it first. So that is the main reason I want an educational blog tool and not just using any blog site. So you can really have control over that. And then the users, you can look at the students' activity. I won't be able to show you on Edublog because I can't create a class on there, but it shows you when they were last logged in, how many posts they've made. That's great. Okay, so these are the Kidblog options. There's 6 buttons that the students have to choose from. And I don't even know if the students will be able to choose from the users or settings, so that's even less. Now on Edublog, it's a lot like WordPress because it is WordPress affiliated. It has a lot of options, but really I think since I'm looking at a criteria that a 3rd or 4th grader could do, I think it's a little too much. All they really need is to be able to post and comment. So, and to customize. So I believe the buttons are a little too much here. Another thing I want to point out about Kidblog that Edublog does not have, on the posts, there's a full screen option. So I could tell my students, I want you to work in a full screen option so you don't get distracted. And here it's wonderful. Their whole screen could just be this blank sheet to fill up. So this is very simplistic. So I'm going to here's my little scoreboard in the top right corner. I'm going to give Kidblog a point for the fewest buttons as possible, and also for this full screen option. I really like that option. And for the first class being free. So Kidblog is off to a good start in this battle. All right, let's continue by looking at, another thing actually before I move on posts, creating posts. Edublog makes it easier to embed videos. So that is a plus for Edublog, even though 3rd, 4th grade is stretching if I would include embedded videos in blogs, but you can teach your kids and they'll catch on, I'm sure. So that's a point for Edublog. Okay, let's move on to looking at 2 different class blogs. One is a kid blog site and the other is an Edublog site. So first off, one of my criteria was to have a blog that's unified but individualized at the same time for each student. So here I can see Kidblog does have that. There are all of the recently posted blogs of all the students, and the students aren't called students, they're called authors, which is awesome. It makes it authentic, which is what I want. And then this Edublog site doesn't have a unified where you can see all of the posts together. Now I'm not sure if this teacher just decided to not have a classroom site, but every Edublog classroom blog I went to, none of them had a unified recent blog post section. So that makes me think all Edublog sites are like that, but maybe they're just going around the fact of not having to pay for it. Okay, so now let's look to see if the students can customize their own blog page. This one looks like he chose to stick with the same theme, but this boy has a different theme. So they are able to if they want to. And let's look over here. She has all of her kids' blogs here. They are also able to customize. So that's one thing I really like of both of them. Both of them can customize, but only Kidblog has the unified, which is really important to me. Okay, and then also going back to the main page of the classroom blog, we see that this Kidblog is very simplistic. It talks about the visitor stats, which is neat. It it also has different class blogs that they view and read other students' work, and then the blog directory of everyone's blogs. Here on Edublog, they have the class blog directory, but then they have a lot of extra stuff too, which I think Kidblog doesn't allow you to do. So if that's something you want, Kidblog might not be for you. And this one also has stats, sort of its live traffic feed through Facebook, I guess. Um, but for me, I want simplistic. So again, Kidblog wins on simplistic, less distracting for the students. So to cut things short, I'm going to say that Kidblog is my winner in respect for it has a unified page which makes it efficient for teachers to go and look at all of their students' most recent posts. It also it's free if you only have one classroom. You don't need class email or each student to have an email, and it's very simplistic and it focuses on the students' writing and it doesn't get them distracted with looking at other things. So, yay, Kidblog, you've won the battle.